you good night. I hope you're happy.
Time for another request from the top tier of our Patreon page, the Inner Circle, a small group of people that get requests every month. John, you are up today. Thanks so much for being a part of Reaction Therapy and supporting our Patreon page and our mission to spread mental health awareness. And you've picked some really cool stuff all along with your request, John. This year, you're doing celebrations of either their life or of their birthday. Today, it's a birthday. Bo Burnham's birthday today. And this stuff is releasing today. You've decided to do a double feature. Today, we're going to do Are You Happy? And content is coming out. So it's really weird. I think from what I heard from John, that these two videos were shot or songs were 5 years apart and COVID happened in between. So I'm really curious to see what happened in these two songs that kind of bookended all of that stuff in our world. So it's going to be Are You Happy? And content back to back today with Bo Burnham. I can't wait. Let's get into it without further ado. First one up, Bo Burnham. Are You Happy?
Now the show is done. I hope that you had gut trembling or something resembling fun. And if you watch this thing alone, you probably didn't laugh, but maybe a few times you exhaled out of your nose.
It's so funny. He's so good at relating to people, I think, and kind of the inner thoughts or feelings we have sometimes that we don't express. You know how maybe you didn't laugh, but if you exhaled out of your nose, like it was a chuckle. Maybe that was all you did, but it's okay. Good job, Bo.
You didn't laugh, but maybe a few times you exhaled out of your nose. But if you hated it, that's fair. But either way, could you find a little more time for a parting questionnaire? On a scale from 1 to 0, are you happy? 'Cause you're on your own from here, so are you happy? I'm open to suggestions. Are you happy?
Such an interesting focus for him. Like just a scale at the end. Are you happy? It's not even like a questionnaire on his performance. It's like, are you happy? From 1 to 0. And I think Bo would be the one to say, you only find happiness in yourself. Like you can't find happiness through other people. You can't. I mean, there can be joyful events and joyful experiences in life, but you have to really look in the mirror and find out who you are and learn to love yourself and learn to appreciate yourself and learn to give to yourself. I really think he would say that if I could ever talk to him one day, because he really cuts straight to the core. Are you happy? Like, be honest. Don't joke around. Don't pretend. Like, are you happy? Just keep saying it over and over.
I'm open to suggestions. Are you happy? But what the fuck kind of question is, am I happy? I really want to try to get happy, and I think that I could get it if I didn't always panic every time I'm unhappy. Like I'm owed some life, or I'm always like happy, which is stupid because I wouldn't even want it if I got it. Wait, oh God, my dad was right.
What did his dad say? Like, you're just never going to be happy. Life sucks. Like, life's hard, man. It just never really gets better. And that's the sad message. I want young people to know, yeah, life's hard. There's tough things in life. You have to go find the joy. This is an interesting point he brings up, though. I think a lot of times people, this is a mental health professional here, because I see people every day that are struggling with all different kinds of things. Sometimes their fault, sometimes not their fault at all. That it's so much easier to cling on to unhappiness. It's so much easier to cling on to sadness. It's so much easier to cling on to stress than it is joy or happiness. So you don't have to pretend. But I'm telling you, it is not hard to find unhappiness, because when we do, we stress about it. We worry about it. Like, now, is this going to stay around forever? Like anxiety. But we actually have to choose the happiness, which means choose experiences and people and situations that will be uplifting or encouraging. Not all the time, but when you can find time. So that's why I talk about balance keeps me stable all the time, is because eating, exercise, rest, those are things that can create more joy in your life. And by the way, remember this scientifically, when you smile, and I fake smile here really big for you, the brain doesn't actually know the difference between my fake smile and when I'm really happy and smiling. So the more you smile, it registers with the brain happiness. What did his dad say?
So if you know or ever knew how to be happy, on a scale from 1 to 2 now, are you happy? You're everything you hated. Are you happy? Hey look ma, I made it. Are you happy?
Oh, wow. Great playing. He's so good at entertaining and playing. When we please our parents, when we please our coaches, when we please our teachers, when we please other people, and that's our goal, because if I made you happy, then I'm good enough, then it's destruction. It's tough. We can't make it. I mean, I love to make other people happy, but I can't rely on that for my joy. Otherwise, I'm going to constantly seek that out. I have to know that I'm good enough regardless. You have to know that you're good enough regardless. And some days you're a little more down on yourself than others, but you have to look inward to say, you know what? I saw an interview on Shia LaBeouf, the actor, recently. He's gone through all kinds of heck in his life, right? But recently he's gotten really healthy. And he said, I used to only want to be happy. That was my mission. He said, now my mission is to be useful. Because it doesn't help anybody for me just to be happy. That's a self-indulgent thing. I'm trying to spend my life being useful and giving back and trying to plug in and be a part of other people's lives and be useful in a way that leaves a legacy. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. So cool. He just walks away. There it is. Are you happy? That was the first one. Now we're going to shift gears into content. But what an interesting thing about are you happy? And you really asking yourself, you know, are you happy? I think there's many people I run into who don't want to be happy. They just don't want to. And there's many people I run into who pretend they are happy when they're really not. And so you have to really ask yourself that. So up next is content. Bo Burnham, song from Inside. So this was, I think, right after COVID, it must have been, when he started doing his content again. And here we go. Without further ado, Bo Burnham, content. Dude, a Netflix special. So like, man, he made it. Like, that's so cool to be able to have a Netflix special and produced and ready to go. OMG, Bo.
I would have told you a year ago. Interesting, now leave me alone.
It's like, I would have been like, would you give me a break? Like, COVID really happening, like, you know, sheltering, like staying home, masks, all that stuff. It's interesting. Now leave me alone. Let me go about my life, because I've got things to do here. And, you know, from what I've heard, he's dealt with a lot of anxiety, a lot of panic stuff, and has fought through a lot and overcome a lot. So impressive. So proud of him, because that is so not easy to do. And on the outside, sometimes it looks not even visible, but on the inside, it can be just wreaking havoc.
A year ago, interesting, now leave me alone. Sorry that I look like a mess. I booked a haircut, but it got rescheduled. Robert's
Yep.
And so today I'm gonna try just getting up, sitting down, going back to work. Might not help, but still it couldn't hurt. I'm sitting down, writing jokes, singing silly songs. I'm sorry I was gone, but look, I made you some content.
Oh, yeah. It's so cool how inventive he is with just figuring a way inside of a room, probably during COVID, right? Where, you know, he's trapped and he's just trying to figure a way to, again, that's the same I tell people with journaling, like, or something you love to do. He's good at this. Use your gifts and your talents to be able to keep sanity at times. And he does this with the crystal ball and the globe and all that stuff. That's pretty cool. And that he had to figure a way during COVID to be able to create content. So I've been this really did it. COVID did it to us in terms of like almost spinning us around and making us dizzy. Just waking up in the day, just running errands, just being able to exercise, just keeping a routine, all disappeared for so many people during COVID because life just kind of stopped. And then everybody kind of just did virtual stuff, or they worked from home, and everything just, I feel like, got sucked in smaller and smaller. And he's really listing that. Like, this became a mental health crisis to me. I said at the beginning of COVID, I thought the real problem is going to be when COVID's over, not when we're going through it now. Everybody's kind of just making it now. But when it's over, the panic and the anxiety attacks and all that stuff is going to settle in heavy duty, because I think a lot more people were affected than we actually realized at the time. And he's listing it. But he said, I made you some content anyway.
Look, I made you some content. Daddy made you your favorite open wide. Here comes the content.
Open wide.
It's a beautiful day to stay inside.
That must be where he makes everything, or made everything. And isn't it funny how he uses those words? It's a beautiful day to stay inside, because that's all we could do for a period of time, was just stay inside. And then I think it just got habitual for people over time. And you see everything just kind of all over the place in there because he needs all that to create. Man, Bo Burnham from Inside. Must have been his next Netflix special, Inside. I remember my son Tony watching that during COVID, I believe, and I didn't know who he was at that point. I didn't know anything about this channel. I wasn't doing this channel. I wasn't doing anything back then. That was a long time ago. But wow, where I've come seeing Bo Burnham and learning about him. So inspirational to so many people. And it's so clever, very smart guy to figure out how he does this content this way. And then a song named Content. This is really important to know, though. We can create our happiness through living life joyfully and trying to get the most out of life, not through trying to find happiness. It's not digging and finding happiness. And it's not doing it through other people. It's being okay and accepting ourselves and loving ourselves a little bit more. And the content piece, so cool. Remember, though, it's not real therapy. It's just Tom breaking down lyrics. If you want help, check the links. John, thank you so much for being a part of our Patreon and always bringing out amazing content and requests for us to be able to look at a reaction therapy. Happy birthday, Bo Burnham. Hope you had a great day today. And John, thank you for being a part of our mission to spread mental health awareness to the world through music and lyrics. Give us your comments. Let me know what you think about Bo. What should we listen to next? And what's coming next for John next month? I can't wait to see. Look, mental health matters, and so do you. We'll see you on the next Reaction Therapy.